Hello everybody, it's Hammy here, and today in this video I'm going to be telling you a little bit about my mini business. Now, this isn't, your average mini business that a kid sets up when they're 12. This is something I did relatively recently. It was only about 2 years ago now. I think I was 17 at the time, maybe just turned 18. And I obviously wanted to make a little bit of extra money, like every teenager does. So I thought, let's go buy some tools and do a little DIY project. So I bought myself a saw and a router, or a router, I don't know how to pronounce it, and basically got to work. My granddad is carpenter by trade as far as I know, or some sort of builder. I don't know, he's in that profession anyway, and he was a great help. He taught me how to use the tools, he taught me which bits to use on the router, and he set up what's called a jig for me to use to make the product. Now, I already haven't told you the product that I was making, but I'll get to that. So the wood that I was using, I was just simply slotting into the saw, measuring out the length, and then cutting. And I did this with, for each plank that I bought, I could make 3 of the lengths that I needed. Then with this, I used a router to cut out 2 lines, I guess, from the piece of wood that I was left with. And I was able to sell this on. Now, I will show you an image here of what it was I made. And the product was a bathboard. Now, these bathboards with the wax, with the the wood, with the tool pieces that I needed, they were costing on average about £3, maybe £4 to make. Probably closer to £4 to be honest. But I was selling them with a small bottle of wine and a small green and black chocolate. And then when this was all put together and wrapped up, I would say maybe the whole thing cost me about £8 to make. And I was able to sell these on at a hefty price of £15 and sometimes £20 when I included a rose. The rose costed me an extra £1, so you do the maths, that's an extra £4 just to throw something extra into the wrapping. Now, I was obviously very careful with every one that I made. I never smashed a bottle of wine or anything like that, and I did on occasion sell out of a lot of these bathboards. The 2 cuts for the bathboard were used for, different purposes. One, I ended up kind of redoing slightly because it was to hold a glass of wine, and it didn't quite hold the glass of wine the way that everyone else was making them. So I did change the product ever so slightly from the one my mum bought on Amazon, and technically it couldn't be patented anymore because it was a different design, and it was completely homemade. I think I ended up raking in something like £300 profit, but obviously you have to take into account that there was the initial cost of the tools, which was I think near enough 200 when you include like the saw blade and the router bits and everything. And it was a really cool little project to work on, and it was cool to see a little bit of money coming in because obviously I was quite young. I didn't really have a proper job at the time. I was in between working a summer job and going back to school. So it was pretty cool to see some money flowing in, and it was pretty cool to see the Facebook page growing where I was selling these bathboards. It was a really cool little experience, and I would suggest for anyone who's handy or has tools like that to kind of get started. A lot of people's parents have tools like that just sit in a garage and collect dust and don't really get used. That could be your moneymaker. Obviously, I'm going to say get a parent or something to show you how to use the tools first before you go and injure yourself. But when you've kind of got the experience and you've got a clear thing in mind that you want to make, go for it. It's really easy to do. If it's something that's already for sale, obviously you have to make sure you're a competitive price to that. So the one that my mum bought, I think was something like £13, but it didn't come with the bottle of wine or the flour or the gift wrap or any of that stuff, or the little chocolate. So we kind of made it as more of a hamper style thing. Not quite a hamper, but more gift wrapped and ready to be gifted off to someone than just a simple piece of wood in a cardboard box. I don't even think it came in a cardboard box. I think it had a sticker on it. So yeah, it got damaged in the post. It didn't really look great, and we just kind of took the product and made it better. So yeah, my granddad was the one that taught me how to use all the tools and everything, and it was a really good experience. I would suggest for anyone who has the tools or the the capabilities, or just someone to lend tools. I would suggest try and think of something. It could be bath boards. If people in your area don't really have access to a bath board, then that could be a cool little thing. Anyway, guys, if this has inspired you or made you want to go and start making a little bit of extra money, then definitely make sure to drop a like down below. If there's any sort of business ideas that you have but aren't capable of doing yourself, comment them down below, and let someone else see them, and maybe they could take off the business and give you some credit, give you a bit of money maybe if they really take off. But yeah, leave your business ideas down below in the comment section, and subscribe if you're new. It would be really cool to see more people subscribing to the channel, getting a bit more of an audience for these little story time kind of things. I haven't really made many of these before. I've made a couple but not really uploaded them because, I don't know, they just didn't really turn out the way I expected. Not as much excitement as I would like. But yeah, this is a cool little story to tell, and a cool little, proposition for other people to try out themselves. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video, and peace.